I'm on here and I'm just begging for help. I want Channel 5 to hear me, Channel 2 to hear me, 11 Live, somebody hear me. I'm crying out for help for me and my baby. This is ridiculous. We should not have to live like this. This is how they're making us live. We don't have a sink. We don't have a stove to use. We don't have anything to use, but we have to stay here where we pay rent at. It's not fair.
Here's a 30-year-old single mother of 4 struggling in Scottdale, Georgia in the Atlanta metro. She's dealing with slumlords or slum management at her apartment complex. They have her and her kids living in horrible conditions. She's been there for 8 years and she's been experiencing issues for nearly a year since August 2022. Now get this, they collect her rent every month. It's subsidized, of course, Section 8, but they are collecting this money from the government every single month. But they are not repairing and maintaining the property. The condition they have them living in is disgusting, it's horrible. I believe the county should really do something about this company. They're definitely wrong for this. She is a single woman with 4 kids. After having all of them, she's alone in the house because for modern women, strong and independent doesn't include a man. So basically, single women these days in 2023, they're really sitting ducks, exposing themselves and their children to danger that if she had protection and provision, there's no way that she would be in this situation crying out for the community, which she calls us the village, to come and help her. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from the Atlanta metro, let me know below. Won't waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into the story.
Right now, a mother of 4 is sleeping in her car while her kids are crammed into her sister's small home, all because she says her DeKalb County apartment is unlivable as management tries to fix it. 11 Alive's John Shurick explains now why she's stuck as management makes repairs.
Since August, she's been trying to get management to fix the plumbing and leaks and flooding in her family's apartment.
It kept flooding.
Precious Bankston shows me the wet floors, the soggy carpet, and mold. And yet this working mother of 4 children ages 4 to 13 somehow blames herself. Bankston having to resort to social media for help. Nowhere else to turn, she says.
Somebody hear me. I'm crying out for help for me and my baby. I can't cook. I don't have a stove. We have no sanitation. We can't wash. I feel like this is all my fault. I feel like I failed my kids because the apartment complex failed me.
Bankston says management at the complex, Oak Forest Apartments in Scottdale, refused to move the family to a different unit, and the landlord is not commenting about any of this to us. Bankston moved her children to her sister's small home, and she's sleeping in her car. Repairs inside the apartment did finally begin this past Friday, and Bankston says it's worse now. Rats have been coming through the holes that crews punched through the floor. Renters versus landlords, all too common, and attorneys we've interviewed about renters' rights here in Georgia all say that renters should document everything, which Precious Bankston has done, either for reimbursement claims later or to get out of a lease. Atlanta attorney Christopher Stanton this past January.
You can say that your landlord has constructively evicted you if the property is no longer habitable.
Bankston says it's like she's trapped, in part because her rent here is subsidized by HUD.
I can't afford to get out here and pay 3 times the rent. I can't. I'm trying to do better. I've been working since I was 15. I feel like I have failed. I feel like the system has failed me. I feel like I have failed my kids.
As of Monday night, Bankston was still trying to find out from her landlord when her apartment would be repaired and put back together so her kids can move out of her sister's and she can move out of her car. In Scottdale in DeKalb County, John Shurick, 11 Alive News.
She said she failed her children, and I agree with her 100% there. She's been working since she was 15, but she's also been getting pregnant since she was 16. She's been having babies ever since, and now she's got 4 kids with multiple baby daddies. No man committed to her. So from a teenager who went through teenage pregnancy, she's been looking to the government and programs for protection and provision her entire adult life. I do have to disagree on one part. Her saying the system failed her. The system trapped you. It coddled you. It co-signed you. If you didn't have the system backing you, you would have never made the decisions you did to allow these men to get you pregnant and make you a 4-time baby mama. You can only make bad decisions like that if you knew that you had financial backing that will cover your rent, your food, your medical, your kids' daycare. She's been at this apartment complex for 8 years and said she couldn't afford to move. But let me explain why I still don't feel sorry for people like this. She couldn't afford to take care of herself with 1 child. Then she had number 2. She couldn't afford to take care of herself and 2 children, but then she had 3. She couldn't afford to take care of herself and 3 children. So the answer to that was to have baby number 4? See, this is what I'm talking about, men and women. If you can't afford these children, you shouldn't be creating babies. You need to manage your reproductive health a lot better. This is grossly irresponsible, especially for the baby mamas who get all of this help. You get child support, they give you subsidized rent, free food, free healthcare, free or subsidized daycare. Then during tax time, they're getting those checks from the IRS, tax refunds, $3,600 for each child under 6 years old, and $3,000 for each child between 6 and 17 years old. During the pandemic, they got multiple stimulus checks. They got monthly child support checks from Joe Biden for a while. I mean, all kinds of money. How do you get everything for free, but still don't have any money saved up? It's because they spend it all. They don't manage it. Here she is. She was able to get people to cash out her money. That's how she finally got her kids in a hotel room. She also just launched her GoFundMe 2 days ago, so I'm certain that she's gonna get thousands of dollars from there too. That's how this usually works. She'll have plenty of money to buy new eyelashes. But why didn't she have any money saved for this crisis in the first place? I just don't understand how these strong independent boss chicks don't have any money saved up. On top of that, the news called her a working mom. A working mom with a fraction of the bills that normal adults have and still managed not to save a dime. So much so, the village got to pay for her hotel and expenses. And I keep saying village because that's what she called it. On GoFundMe, she said, "To my village. As we all know, it takes a village to raise our babies. Today, I'm asking my village to help my babies and me." Now, when she's on her big talk, quoting Glorilla on social media, it's about being strong, independent, don't need no man for nothing. But when they're down bad, they need a black man to come save the community. They say it takes a village to raise these kids. No, it takes a husband and a wife to raise the family. Your kids are not the responsibility of everybody. It's 2023. But technically, we're all still supporting them through these federal programs that use taxpayers to fund these subsidies and all the free money. I say get off social media doing less of this, talking about God in one post and your thought pocket in the next post, when there's nothing godly about you. You're rebellious. You don't follow the word. That's why you're in this situation. And trust me, she knows.
Okay. I don't get on here and I don't tell my business because I don't like people in my business. So I'm coming to social media because I am crying for help for my kids' sake. I am living in Scottdale, Georgia. And I rent out here. I've been renting out here for 8 years. And in the last 3 years, I haven't been having plumbing problems. I have reported it, and I have reported it. I have called code enforcement, This time around, I decided I wasn't going to pay rent. I want them to take me to court. Once I called code enforcement and I told them I wasn't going to pay my rent and I want them to take me to court, they start to fix the plumbing problems. So whenever you're fixing someone's problems in their home and you have to do major work, the complex is required to put the family in a hotel while they do major work on their property that's messed up.
It's true, the management at this apartment complex, out of order. It's their responsibility to maintain the dwelling and meet minimum standards for human habitation. You have to have electricity, heat, air, water, and sewage. She said that she had constant flooding issues from the bathroom. It's no way that would be considered livable. She said the plumbing wasn't working. All of this is the perfect breeding ground for mold. The apartment's management, they should have put her in another apartment while they fixed all these issues, or permanently moved her. If they can't move her to another apartment for whatever reason, they should have paid for a hotel. Now, her saying that she wasn't paying rent and wanted them to take her to court on an eviction is not a good idea. She should file a case against them as a plaintiff instead. But yeah, I agree. The management at this apartment complex, 1000% out of order.
I'm on here because Oak Forest denied me and my kids hotel stays for at least one day, one night, because they claim they're going to be back in here Saturday, tomorrow at 10 a.m. This is how they left me and my kids to stay for this Friday night, June 9th, 2023. They told me and my kids that we have to sleep here tonight, knowing that the apartment complex is infested with rats. They bust holes and holes and holes in my ground, dug up my wall behind this black bag, and expect me and my kids to live in this. Do y'all see this? You can see the next door neighbor's house. You can see outside. I'm on here and I'm just begging for help. I want Channel 5 to hear me, Channel 2 to hear me, 11 Live, somebody hear me. I'm crying out for help for me and my babies. This is ridiculous. We should not have to live like this. This is how they're making us live. We don't have a sink. We don't have a stove to use. We don't have anything to use, but we have to stay here where we pay rent at. It's not fair.
Yeah, I do believe the property's management is out of order. They're up here taking all our money that the federal government is giving them for her to stay there, and they have her and the kids in some rat-infested apartment with no proper plumbing. And then get this, the manager sent her a letter trying to cover themselves. You can pause it and read it yourself, but off rip, I don't believe them. They wrote that the leak occurred on the 10th and they fixed it on the 10th, that Saturday. Yeah, sure, they may have fixed the leak on Saturday, but the leak occurred before the 10th because this video that she recorded here, that was on the 9th. The manager also said they tried to come in on Monday to take pictures, but she denied them access and allegedly kicked out the guy making repairs. We need more information though, because in this letter, they already got caught in one lie. I know people are telling her that she should withhold rent and make them evict her, and I don't think that's a good idea. It's already hard enough to find a place to rent anywhere. Having a fresh eviction over $90 or $100 just isn't worth it, especially since HUD already paid most of the bill. I think she should get ahead of them, take them to court, and find somewhere else to live. Young ladies, do you see this? This is like the DARE program, just warning you. Let this be your birth control. It's nothing fun or hot about going through this alone with no man to help you figure it out, with a bunch of kids looking at you to fix it. Don't set yourself up for this struggle. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Special thank you to Outcast94. I appreciate you for your support, as well as Randy. I appreciate you, Randy. Also, big shout out to Nuke, Brian, and Tio. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.